Hey guys, Super Chris Productions here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my custom Deadpool. It's sort of like a commission slash trade that I made for the minifigure Merc. He is a, if you don't know, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a minifigure collector on Instagram. And if I remember, I'm going to try to put a link to his Instagram in the description down below. But yes, like I said, it's like a sort of, I guess, say, commission trade thing that I made for him. And by the time you guys see this video, this figure's probably already going to be sent out to him. But, yeah, guys, so without further ado, let's get into this video. So, I'll give you guys a full 360 of him so you could see. Now, this figure is actually, before any of you haters down there start saying, hey, you copied MGF, you copied MGF, I'll let you know right now that I 100% did copy Michael MGF. Like, most of the stuff. I copied Michael MGF. There, you happy now? I said it. I copied Michael MGF. Now you don't have to go down there roasting me in the comments and saying, this looks a lot like Michael MGF. Hey, you copied Michael MGF. This is based off Michael MGF. That's all I'm saying. And, yeah. Now the head, it did give me the most problems, but I think it came out looking pretty decent. And you can see like the red lines do wrap around towards the back. And now the sword sheath, he actually said, I'm not going to send him this. I'm not sending him the sword sheath because it's a Chinese knockoff one and I only have one. And two, the Japanese swords, if you look at them, let me see if I can take one out without knocking down the whole set. This is actually the third time I'm filming this because I've knocked down the camera and the set, or I just messed up with what I'm saying. But, yeah. So if you notice, this sword is actually skinnier than a regular Lego sword, and you can tell there that it's skinnier. So if you try to stick a Lego sword in this sword sheath, it's gonna ruin it. So that's one of the reasons I'm not sending him this sword sheath. Plus, like I said, I only have one. And he said he has a sword sheath that he could put on Deadpool. An actual Lego one. But yeah, because if you look at my custom Deathstroke, this is a real sword sheath. And the sword fits in there just fine, because it's like from the Ninjago. But if you try to stick a regular sword into this Chinese knockoff one, you're going to ruin it, and it's not even going to go in. It's just going to get stuck. I know because I tried to stick a Lego sword. And also, sorry for the background noise. That's my pet bird making a lot of noise. And she just sneezed all over me. But yeah, so the arms, I painted like black shoulder pads and like the gray bands that wrap around. And that's on both sides. His sword sheath, to look like it's strapped over his chest, I used electrical tape, which actually wraps over his shoulder and comes down his chest. I would have put another band around here, but I didn't. I forgot to. I cut it too short, and then when I did try to add another piece, it did. It rubbed off. It wouldn't stick. So, yeah. But now if we move on to the rest of his torso, you can see all the detail painted onto there. His belt is actually made out of cardboard, which I then cut and glued on. So if I take him off, if the whole stand wants to stay and not move, if I take him off, you can see that it does separate. So this helps so it could separate. And then once it comes together, it looks like the little pouches. And his legs, I painted like straps. I painted those red lines on the top that you see, which they don't, surprisingly, the legs don't rub them off. See, I'm moving the figure, I'm moving the legs, and he's coming off the stand, but I'm moving the legs around, as you can see, and I didn't use paint sealer or anything on this, because I couldn't find any other than spray can sealer, and I didn't feel like waiting for one to arrive from Amazon, because I wanted to hurry up and get this figure sent out to him. But the lines on the legs, they do not rub off, which is pretty good. Now, he does have like these little knee pad things. He's got boots, and I did use a gunmetal gray around the bottom. And the straps do wrap around all four sides of the legs, as you can see there and there. I'm sorry if it's a little dark. But if I lift up his arms, you also, something I want to point out, is I made these also out of cardboard and glued them on, which they hold pretty well. I made these little cardboard gun holsters, which I painted black after I glued them onto the leg. So that turned out really nice. And yeah, so I'll move on to his back. And I'm shaking the camera. So if I take off his head and his sword sheath, you can see all the detail that I painted onto his back. And the brown belt does wrap around all four sides. I'll lift up the other arm. Wraps around. I didn't put any pouches back there, because if I would have put cardboard pouches, as you can see, they wouldn't have fit together with the sword sheath. I mean, one on the sides might have worked, but the sword sheath would eventually rub them off. Whereas on the front here, nothing's touching them to scrape at them. And the gun holsters on the leg, I just used actually a glue stick, and it holds on really well. So, and yeah, I also gave him a little gun accessory you see there, just so, because in the movie, you know, he has a gun. But yeah, guys, so that's about it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below, and don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, something I keep mentioning is pretty soon I'm going to be working on X-Men stop motion, and I'm going to do an X-Men Apocalypse / comic book versions. I'll do that in 2 separate videos, but I'm going to have an X-Men Apocalypse minifigure showcase. I'm not making Apocalypse, and I'm not really making Magneto or anything. I'll let you know the figures that I am working on, are, well, so most of them that I have are like most of the X-Men that you see at the end scene at the end of the movie in their suits. If you guys haven't seen that yet, then that's a little spoiler. But yeah, guys, so that's about it for this video, and bye.